This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by ICOM. Heard it, worked it, logged it. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information about ICOM radios.
It's Ham Radio.
Hey everyone, it's time for Ham Talk Live, episode number 304, the Collegiate QSO Party 2022, recorded on Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight, we're joined by Andy Milluzzi, KK4LWR, and Tony Milluzzi, KD8RTT. Last episode, Audrey McElroy came for BUN, and Don Wilbanks, AE5DW, were here to talk about the Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award. So congratulations to Miss McElroy, and if you missed the show, you can listen anytime at hamtalklive.com or on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube, and we're on WTWW on the weekends at Saturday afternoon at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5085 on your AM dial, WTWW. So check it out there as well. So we'll talk with Tony and Andy right after this word from Tower Electronics right here on Ham Talk Live.
Thanks for choosing Tower Electronics. How may we help you today? We have PL259s, we have in connectors, we have SMA adapters, we have BNC adapters. What can I show you today?
Where's the tower?
Well, we don't actually have a tower with us, but we have all kinds of things you can use with a tower. We have power poles, antennas, soldering irons, and meters.
Where's the tower?
Ma'am, that's the name of our company. We can't haul towers to all the hamfests across the country that we visit, but we have almost every connector and adapter you would need to connect your antenna that's on your tower.
I don't think there's a tower back there. I really don't.
Tower Electronics. Visit us at a hamfest near you or call 920-435-2973 or see our whole catalog at pl-259.com. Sorry, one thing we don't have is a tower.
And the Tower Electronics Hamfest schedule will be in Belvidere, Illinois, September 25th, Belton, Texas, October 1st, Crestview, Florida, October 15th, and Chickasaw, Alabama, that's North Mobile, on October 22nd. But you can visit them anytime, anywhere at pl-259.com.
Here's the snap. Rapp takes the rig. He breaks through the pileup. He's on 80, now 40, now 20, 15, 10, 2 meters. Touchdown, Ham Talk Live.
Welcome back to Ham Talk Live tonight. The brothers Milluzzi are back. Andy, KK4LWR, and Tony, KD8RTT, and they join us on the Orlando Amateur Radio Club and Hamcation Zoom line. Andy Milluzzi, KK4LWR, is the past president of the Gator Amateur Radio Club at the University of Florida in Gainesville. He is currently a senior ride control systems engineer for Walt Disney Imagineering. And Andy is a key leader in the ARRL Collegiate Amateur Radio Program, a group that's been formed to share ideas and promote and rejuvenate amateur radio clubs in colleges and universities in North America. And trying to get in a word edgewise is his brother Tony, KD8RTT. He is an aviation systems engineer with Garmin. He attended grad school at Ohio University, where he was the Amateur Radio Club president. And during undergrad, he was president of the Rose Tech Amateur Radio Club, W9NAA, over in Terre Haute, Indiana. And he's a pilot and also a key leader in the ARRL Collegiate Amateur Radio Program. And you'll find him on satellites or operating CW or portable on HF. So Tony and Andy, welcome back.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for having us. And look, Tony already got a word in edgewise. I was thinking couldn't be a more accurate way to describe how the talk's going to go tonight.
Yes, if you tuned in, that's usually how it goes with these two. So Tony, we'll have to fight for you to get some airtime here.
Yeah, it's always Andy.
Hey, what can I say?
Well, it's great to be with you once again, and fall is here, and I'm kind of excited, actually. We'll talk about this offline, but something happened yesterday that is kind of exciting at my college with ham radio, so we'll see how that plays out, but we may have another entry one of these days. We're working on it. But the Collegiate QSO Party is something that you all have kind of spearheaded and got going in the last few years. So let's talk a little bit about what the Collegiate QSO Party is and some of the history behind that.
Yeah, the Collegiate QSO Party is to celebrate our colleges and universities and trade schools on the air. It's open for any and every amateur radio operator to join and try and make as many contacts as they can with all of these awesome school clubs. One of the cool things about it is many of these students are getting on the air for the first time. Don't worry, we have some seasoned veterans in there too, but many getting on the air for the first time, the first sort of experiences with amateur radio. Great way to sort of welcome them to the hobby.
And this is something that you kind of planned at the beginning of the school year to kind of get a jump start for things on the collegiate level, right?
Yeah, one of the big challenges with college clubs is just getting activity going in the beginning of the school year. We've done this right kind of at the beginning of the fall semester or fall quarter. The goal being that schools can have like their activities fair where they'll show off their club to other students. And then invite them to this event, within a few weeks afterwards. Just show them what ham radio is, get them talking, in kind of a more comfortable environment. Not such a fast-paced contest necessarily, but a fun and competitive way to show people what ham radio is. They've never seen it before.
And that's always the key is to get people on the air. It's not always the most fun thing to tell people that they have to go take another test. It's about getting them on the air and get them hooked. And, that's a great way to do that. And there's been some creative, things go on. I loved the whole, mascot on APRS thing that one college was doing. Some of the associated, stuff here with the, QSO Party. So every year when we talk about this, Andy and I have this kind of trash talk thing going on. And so, Kentucky has always played Florida pretty early on. And so, it's usually about the time of the QSO Party that my Kentucky Wildcats and his Florida Gators end up playing each other in football. And of course, as soon as the game was over, the first thing I had to do was text Andy.
And I saw that text come in literally as it hit as time ran out. Neil did not waste a moment to let me know that the Gators again did not do so well against Kentucky. And to be fair, since that game, they've also played South Florida, and that one was so. Sounds like it's not the Gators' time right now, but don't worry, they will come back and layeth the chomp on the Wildcats. I know they will. Maybe not this season, but definitely in the future, And I mean, that's also part of the fun of the QSO party is getting that opportunity to trash talk your favorite friends as you work them on the air, or let the different schools know who you're supporting that weekend in football.
Yeah, there you go. So the final score, Kentucky 26, Florida 16, for those of you playing along at home. And I was going to change the intro music. It was going to be this, but I figured that might be rubbing it in too much. So anyway, the trash talk is kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fun part. I'll get you some Go Gators music for for your next episode, where you can just play that instead of the usual Ham Talk Live stuff. I mean,
instead of the theme song, I'm supposed to play Go Gators now.
Yeah.
But seriously, though, connecting this with the QSO party and some of the other collegiate operating events like the North American Collegiate Championships, there's a level of trash talking and competitiveness. And, I found back when I was teaching high school and we were competitive in the school club roundup, that was a thing. I mean, it was, this school, I won't mention any names, but we're taking them down.
I mean, that's part of the fun, right? I mean, a lot of amateur radio is a social hobby, right? And that's some of the fun of when you participate in some of these events year over year. Who's the strong competitors, who are the ones out there. And it's great just to have fun and, heckle them a little bit. And, I mean, you want everyone to be successful and to continue the hobby and grow it. But it's also a fun way to sort of, poke at each other and get into the spirit. I mean, when I was working school up, because back in the day when I was in college, we didn't have the Collegiate QSO party. I'd worked school club roundup, and you bet I worked all 24 hours that week because I knew there were other stations out there that were also gunning for it. So, and there was, of course, some appropriate trash talk on the Yahoo group back in the day.
Oh, yes.
That. So, yeah, that's definitely fun. So.
Yeah, and I think we've even, seen at Dayton Hamvention, the Collegiate Amateur Radio Program presence there. We've had schools do, continue that trash talk in person from last year's QSO party. So it kind of builds a nice community, competitiveness, but good fun.
Yeah, and it's all in fun, and it's something to keep life interesting and keep it going on the air. So yeah, I always get that in, but it's always more fun when Kentucky wins because, for the last 50 decades, Florida would crush us. So, so I had to bring it up while I can. So, well, Tony, tell us.
Waiting for it next year.
Oh, yeah, you'll be waiting for it next year. There you go. Well, Tony, tell us a little bit about the event info for 2022. How do people participate? How do people get their college club involved? And then how do just everybody, join in the fun here on the Collegiate QSO Party?
Yeah, so this year the Collegiate QSO Party is October 1st and 2nd. The full UTC days of that weekend. Like we said before, everyone's welcome to participate, whether you're a college, university, or just an individual. You actually head over to our website, collegiateqsoparty.com. We have a link there to an info packet that has all the rules, all the information, some scripts for contacts, if you're frequently asked questions, all that sort of thing. So I would encourage people to take a look there. A couple things to note is we've had a totally new format for this year. We're doing it more like a state QSO party in that we're asking all the colleges and universities to pre-register and provide some information about what call sign they'll be using and then their school identifier they'll use in the exchange. So again, if you go to our website, on the main page, there's a link to see all the registered colleges and universities. We're up to 15 already, and they keep coming in every day. Everyone from University of Florida, the Case Western Reserve, Dominion, Ohio State, St. Louis University, Missouri S&T. It's just a bunch. So they've got links there. You can check out more about their club. Perhaps they'll post some information about their operations. But we've really built this event to be pretty easy to participate and really focus on the colleges and universities and help build awareness about for them.
Well, I also might just go out there and say this, Neil. I heard him mention the University of Florida and the Gator Amateur Radio Club W4DFU, but I didn't hear him mention anything about Kentucky. And, you can't win if you're not in the game.
Yeah, well, our bunch are too busy building CubeSats, apparently. So, yeah.
I'm just saying, the Gators still might pull one out this season. I got faith in the Gator Club.
This is true. All right, so you've got the hours here, you've got the dates, you've got the website. Fill us in on the exchange, bands, modes, all that kind of thing.
All right, Andy, do you want to take it, or?
I mean, I can. The exchange it'll be a little different than in years past. So this year, our exchange is adding in, besides your call sign and sort of the signal report that you're used to, we're adding in a school identifier where you get to basically use a shortcut to identify your school. Some people might not recognize your call signs. So that's a great way for schools to, be unique and make it easy for stations that are not schools to log them, because there are a lot of bonus points for working the school. So they've all picked something, fairly unique to their station. It's about 5 characters or less. I think Mississippi State is the longest one up there, but all of them are about 5 characters or less, and that's a unique way to identify them. If you're not a school station, if you're not a college, university, or trade school, you would identify with. You would share that as well for the school.
Okay,
clubs,
you cut out there. You identify what as what?
With your QTH, your home station location. Yep.
Okay.
So
very good.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, that's a good way. So that way, if you don't have all these club call signs memorized, like I seem to have from doing school club roundup for years, that's a great way to instantly know who you're talking to.
Exactly. I mean, there's a few of these call signs that I do well, like when I see Triple E or W8EDU pop in there. But then there are some that I haven't seen, like K7BYI for Brigham Young University, Idaho, who are going to be participating this year. So that's cool to see them in there, and their identifier is BYUI, so that makes a lot of sense. I recognize it from that. But there's some other ones in there too. University of Arizona has Wilbur as their call sign, which I think is their mascot, if I'm not mistaken. So there's some really cool ways that some of these schools are identifying and having fun with it.
Well, and even more chance of trash talk. So
that is
all right. Well, there you have it. The rules and how to get involved in the Collegiate QSO Party. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're actually going to open up the phone lines. It's been a while, so we're going to open up the phone lines and talk some more with Tony and Andy right after this word from ICOM America, right here on Ham Talk Live. Keep your competitive contesting edge with ICOM. Our high-powered base stations cut through pileups, letting you work the bands and record those contacts. Contests from the comfort of your own home or remotely with the RSBA One app. Heard it, worked it, logged it. The IC7851 gives you a new window into the RF world and is HF excellence unparalleled. With faster processors, high input gain, high display resolution, and a cleaner signal, it is truly the pinnacle of HF perfection. It has dual receivers, digital IF filters, memory keyer, digital voice recorder, Spectrum waterfall display, and an SD card slot. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants. This high-performance SDR can pick out faint signals in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The IC7610 by ICOM is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that has changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has 110 dB RMDR, dual Digicel, dual receiver, and RF direct sampling. Create your own band opening with the IC9700. This transceiver radio brings direct sampling to the UHF VHF weak signal world. It's loaded with innovative features that are sure to keep you busy. Faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. With a 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectroscope and waterfall display, dual watch operation, full duplex in satellite mode, and smooth satellite operation with 99 satellite channels. The IC7300 is a high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. The innovative transceiver digitizes RF before various receiver stages, reducing inherent noise in different IF stages. The IC7300 changed the way entry-level HF is designed. It has 15 discrete bandpass filters, the large color touchscreen, Spectrum scope, SD card slot, and RF direct sampling. The real HF fun starts here. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
At Ham Talk Live, we have $1 million request guarantee. You give us $1 million, and we'll do a show about whatever ham topic you request. Guaranteed.
Welcome back to Ham Talk Live. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you'll know when new episodes are coming your way. But before we get back to Andy and Tony, it is time once again for the N9 GSU Joke of the Week.
Now it's time for the Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week, the part of the show where Rick tells us a ham radio joke. The Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week is brought to you by QRM Labs. Now, here's Rick Garrett in N9 GSU with today's Ham Talk Live Joke of the Week.
It's always a struggle for me to get antennas up in trees when I'm out doing POTA activations. I swear I have tried everything. I finally hit on the bright idea of using a boomerang. I'd forgotten where I threw it, but it finally came back to me.
This has been the Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week with Rick Garrett in N9 GSU. Tune in again next week for another joke from Rick.
Oh, boy. It finally came back to me. Did it come back to you, Andy?
No, I'm still waiting for mine to come back, Neil.
Oh, you're still waiting. Well, we're coming back to Tony and Andy Milluzzi, KK4LWR and KD8RTT with the Collegiate QSO Party coming up October 1st to a radio near you. So make sure you check that out. CollegiateQSOParty.com, was it?
Yep, that's right.
.com. All right. Well, okay, so rare opportunity here. We're actually going to open up the phone lines because since we are doing this recorded and not live anymore, we don't always get to open up the phone lines. But tonight, we've got a chance to do it. So good evening. Welcome to Ham Talk Live.
Good evening, Whiskey 4 India Papa Charlie.
Yeah, good evening, Connor. And you're down at Old Dominion University, and you've been working on getting them going again. So tell us what's going on down there.
That's right. We're at the old Dominion University, not the new Dominion University, down here in Norfolk, Virginia, next to the largest Navy base in the world. We've got the club restarted here after, I believe, 30 to 40 years of inactivity. Unfortunately, we haven't really been able to find much history of the club, except for exactly 2 pictures that I was able to get the university archivist to dig up. But other than that, we're pretty much a first-time club at the university. We've got several radios in the shack, rack-mounted, that the Navy has actually purchased for us. We're doing experiments with the Navy on HF radio and automatic link establishment. And we're pretty excited to operate the upcoming Collegiate QSO Party from there, where we will probably do it via remote control from a shared space on the university where we can all sit down together and have some university-sanctioned pizza party. Over.
Yes, the pizza is always a requirement. Andy and Tony, you kind of left that part out, but it's a college club, therefore pizza must be involved.
It's the best way to make sure people come.
We have a pizza budget in our club activities fund from the university. They gave us a pizza budget. So
what's
there
the old
you go.
saying? If you feed them, they will come.
That's true.
So y'all are going to be on, and you're going to use some remote technology, and sometimes that's a way to overcome some of the obstacles. Getting a dedicated space on campus or getting some antennas up on campus. Sometimes that can be a challenge and might take a while to jump through all the red tape and get through everything to make that happen. So it sounds like you've definitely got a plan there and pizza.
Yes, our main problem is they gave us a really nice space. It's probably a 100 by 100 foot room, but I'm currently in the talks to fix this. But currently, undergrads can't access that room without a professor, which lends a problem. So we can only be in there for things or club activities or open shack when we have a professor with us, unless you're me. So basically, the entire shack is remote controlled, so we don't have to really go in there for anything. And that's our major stepping stone there, is to sort of get the university to trust us enough to let us actually into our own room.
Yeah, that's not unusual, and these are some of the challenges that colleges run into, the college clubs run into. I remember ours was in a mop closet. And, same thing. I couldn't get into it. I had to have one of the professors with me, and the mop closet wasn't real great for the radio either, but that's a whole nother story. But with all the new remote technology, that's a great way to do it. So, Andy, anything else to throw in here, or Tony?
Well, I'll mention that one thing we haven't talked too much about tonight is the Collegiate Amateur Radio program that we're involved in. And we actually have monthly calls that we discuss items. And Connor was on this past month, it was a week ago, and actually showed off their shack. So if you go to ARRL.org/we want the letter U, we want you, there will be a link to the recording of that, and you can actually check out the station he was talking about. So he did a great job of showing us how they got that all set up.
And also, we've mentioned it a few times here, the Collegiate Amateur Radio program, CARP, as we affectionately call it. But that's also news. It wasn't always called CARP. We were CARI for a while. We were the Collegiate Amateur Radio Initiative. The league started this initiative sort of thing. But, after a half decade of doing it and literally thousands of members on our Facebook group here, we're pushing about 1.2 thousand members, so 1,200 folks, representing colleges and universities all across the world. Even at this point, we've graduated from being an initiative to something that's really a sustainable program and really a hallmark now of college stations around the world. So you can join the calls. We are hosting Hamfest forums at Dayton and Orlando. So if you come down to Orlando Hamcation in February, or if you go to Dayton Hamvention in May, there will be a forum just for you if you're a college student, or if you want to support, college, university, and trade school students, and help them be successful. So lots of great growth going on this year with the program.
Yeah, and you got a new logo. I was like, wait a minute. The first time I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was Carey, not Carp. And all of a sudden there's a new logo and everything. So
yeah, there's a new logo. I would say if you are a college student out there and that logo maybe gives you an idea of a particular seagoing animal, maybe you should join Discord and see how we've had some fun with that logo. It's a whole bunch of hams doing amateur radio for each other and sharing, and enjoying the hobby together. So, I encourage everyone to sort of get involved and jump in on there. And from that ARRL website, ARRL We Want You, you can actually get a link to Discord in there and, help make collegiate amateur radio loud, and who knows, you might hook your carp.
All right. Well, Connor, thanks so much for calling in tonight and telling us a little bit about Old Dominion, and best of luck in the college, or collegiate, rather, QSO party coming up October 1st.
Yeah, good to be here, and make sure everybody listening works Whiskey 4 Oscar Delta uniform. Very important. I'll give you, I'll give you a handshake if I ever meet you.
There you go. Or 1,000 nano bonus points.
There you go.
Yep. There you go. All right. Thanks, Connor, for calling in.
Thanks for having me, Neil.
All right. Well, Tony and Andy, let's talk a little bit about carp here, and we'll see if we have any other calls here. But we want to talk a little bit about carp and the resources that are there for college clubs that are trying to get started or trying to get restarted. What are some things that are offered to help them out?
Yeah, so in addition to those monthly calls we just mentioned and the Discord group, we have another kind of repository of resources linked there. You can get sample club constitutions, information about other clubs out there. We also have a Facebook group, so that's kind of the companion to the Discord, where people are pretty active posting all sorts of things, online courses that clubs are hosting, schools asking for advice on how to do a project or get started with their club. So we really, we've got some basic resources for people to start with, and we have this nice community of people. It's the go-to place that you can try to build your club out, start a club, and just kind of give back to college clubs as well. So again, that's all accessible from ARRL.org/WeWantYou, the letter U. There's links to all that stuff, including recordings of all our previous calls. There's a lot of good material in there.
All right, so some excellent resources out there for colleges that are trying to get started again or keep going, for that matter. Be sure to check them out, as well as the Facebook group. So we're going to wrap things up here for tonight. But Andy, we've known each other for a long time, and we've talked to each other, and our clubs have talked to each other, I think more importantly, over the years, all the time. And we discovered this week that we were never in each other's personal logs. And lo and behold, I'm sitting on FT8 and about to just give up and shut everything down because I can't find any more Tasmanian stations. I'm trying to get that Tasmanian Devil Award thing. And all of a sudden I see your call sign flash across the screen. So we finally got a contact.
Yeah, nearly a decade in the making. We finally got a contact. So that was fun. Your new home station to my new home station. That was a ton of fun. It was make that contact and then immediately pick up the phone and be like, "Hey Neil, we finally made a contact." It was great. It's a lot
with
of fun
our own call signs for once.
Yeah. there was a bit of a, hold on, let me search my log. Wait, I really don't have him in the log. Wow. And now it's on you, Neil, because I dropped in the mail today a QSL card your way, because I'm starting to collect them now that I have a station to display them. So I need to get yours up on the wall.
Yeah, we'll have to get that taken care of. I got to get some new ones too with the new QT8. So I put it in my order. So they're on the way, hopefully. So we'll get that. And Tony, I get on satellite. So I think we've worked actually several times.
Yeah, I think over the past few years we've worked, multiple roves of for both of us, I think. Yeah,
from all kinds of locations. So, yeah, that's been pretty cool. Tony does some pretty cool roving out in the Midwest and in some rare places. So you have to watch for KD8RTT out there and check that out. All right. Well, and Andy, your big announcement here. You're running for ARRL Southeast Division Vice Director. So congratulations on that and good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks. I threw my hat in the ring. I've had a lot of fun helping with the getting Carrie and now Carp going and being on the PR committee as well as local clubs and stuff. And I want to get back to the league at a bigger level, represent the Southeastern Division, and help lead the second century of amateur radio.
Yeah, well, good luck. I wish you well in that. So, yep. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Ham Talk Live. Thanks to my guests, Andy Milluzzi, KK4LWR, and Tony Milluzzi, KD8RTT, and everybody out there in cyberspace for listening, and invite you back next time. And for our upcoming guests, you can see those at hamtalklive.com. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375. And may the good DX be yours.
For 73, to you and your family, I'll be seeing you further down the law. You're 73, to you and your family, I'll be seeing you further down the law.